everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm now G, this time with a Warframe video. Now in this Warframe video, as usual, of course, I have to talk about Tennocon. Tennocon was this past Saturday and they revealed a lot of stuff, but we'll get to it in a minute. Before that, I just want to say that I'm a little bit salty with Warframe right now because the Ambassador drops and the Hollow Key drops, which is the first thing I was trying to get from the update and not the new Sister weapons or the new Kuva weapons. They left me a little bit salty because they're really low. They're insanely low. And, you know, he has this ability to show us great things, but then behind us they're doing this jiggling of numbers. And so, yeah, I was watching Tennocon, I was excited, but then there was this. Also, during Tennocon, there was a server relay problem, and I think that's amazing. You know, DE being DE had problems. You know, they always have problems with their updates, and they're trying to do just a simple stream, and they were, you know, having issues with that, which I thought it was ironic, but also very funny. The other thing I'll say about the show is I only enjoyed about half of it. I only watched 2 streams. One was the art stream, and the other one was the stream itself, the big stream. Now, the art stream, for more than half of it, which was, well, I don't know, I think it was like an hour or an hour plus, was just talking about stuff that we already know, stuff we already seen in Warframe. Now, the other part of the show was really cool. The other stream, you know, the main stream of Tennocon that I saw, I didn't feel it was as strong as last year. You know, last year, when you were in the region and they showed us, of course, there was server issues, I know all about it, but what they showed when they were dropping Deimos was really interesting. They had the new void rigs, they had the new enemies, they also had the, you know, the tentacles that form day and night. Those was really interesting things to see. What they showed now was just, you know, snippets of things that we'll probably see in the new war. And the only really interesting thing that they showed was the new Prime and the new enemy, which isn't even a thing, you know, it's just an object. So I felt that this time the relays didn't really showed that much. You didn't really have to be in the release to see that much. Last year I think it was much better. But moving on. Talking about the art panel. The art panel showed some pretty cool stuff. They showed some new enemy design. This is just early concepts of them, but they look kind of ceremonial like, some of them. Others looked like they were like infested, but infested by a different thing that not infested. So I'm interested to see that. They also showed the new palace. Palace will have a kind of a redesign, and you'll have a new weapon. It does look a little bit different. It looks like he has a more ceremonial tone to it. I hope we get to fight him, but that's just it. We just saw the concept. It looks nice. That's all I can say. They showed a new variant armor, which is the first armor we'll get that changes shape. I don't know exactly how this changed shape. I don't know if it's through damage done or damage taken, but it will be a sentient armor that will change over time. I thought that was interesting because we never had that before. And they also showed us a new sentient bow. It looks like an infested bow, but I think they describe it as sentient. So, you know, it's kind of a mix of several aesthetics. I think it looks cool. Well, bows recently haven't got a lot of love. They got a really good buff, but we haven't seen a lot of bows, not even in primes. Everybody's talking about the prime Daiku, which is never coming. But yeah, it's interesting to see that this is really a new weapon. Another thing that they're showing is just in their early stages is the new Warframe, which will be called Caliban. It's like Revenant. It's a mix of infested and Warframes. It looks like it's really 50-50, you know, like Equinox. I don't really like the part that he has no center, because that's one of the key characteristics of infested. They have like this no center. They're like divided. I don't know how that will work with fashion framing and all that. It doesn't seem to look very good right now. It also has that pinnacle on its head like Revenant does. And I do not like that Revenant skin, that Revenant helmets that he has. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it ends up. But right now, aesthetically, it's not really pulling me. Another thing that's not pulling me is the new Baruch Deluxe. And as I'm talking about the deluxe skins that they show. The Baruch Deluxe, and I do like Baruch. I think it's one of the best Warframes. I like playing with him. I don't play as much because I think he overpowers everything with Desert Storm. And I was hoping that it would get a proper skin for him. A proper skin that showed that he is a warrior, or like a Hulk. When he slips from Pacifier to Destroyer, you know, he gets a change or something like that. And that's not exactly what we got. The Baruch skin looks a little bit buffed, and he has 4 arms, which I like because Nidus also has a deluxe skin like that. But everything else, I mean, he has a chandelier for a head, and then he has hoofs. I don't know what who came up with this idea, or why did it came up with this idea? I mean, one thing is to put it in Oberon, which is like a deer sentient, a deer Warframe or a forest Warframe. But Baruch is not. Baruch is a warrior, and he has these hoofs now. We're looking at the design as is. I'm not feeling it. I'm really not feeling it, and I'm sad because I wanted to buy a deluxe skin for Baruch because I think he deserves a proper look, a more stronger look. Another looks that they showed was the one for Portia. That looks cool, but she looks like the deluxe skin for Mesa. And Mesa has this Conqueror kind of skin, which is kind of this 19th century ceremonial garment. And I think it looks nice on paper, but when I saw it on Mesa, I decided not to get it because it didn't fit. I don't think it didn't fit her. Now with Portia, I already don't like her original look, the helmet and the entire design. I think it works, but it doesn't appeal as much to me. So this new Portia skin, if it's done correctly, if it's even similar to the one the Mesa the Conqueror, I think I'll get it for her because I like her like this. The last one they showed was Volt Deluxe, and this has been in the works for ages. I've been waiting for this for ages, and they just showed a snippet of it. It was really quick. I had to Google on the internet images of it, and it looks absolutely amazing. Volt is one of the best Warframes, one of my favorites also, and the only thing I got for him was a Tennocon helmet that I love, but I didn't get for him any kind of special skin because, you know, nothing seems to really shine on him because he's already looking cool. But this one seems like it's going to work, and I mean, you know, if you can fashion for him with the proper ephemeras and everything, I think it'll be amazing. Now, last but not least, we gotta look at the next Prime, which will be Nidus Prime. Now, as you know, Nidus is pretty cool. It's also one of those Warframes that's kind of overpowered, and everybody loves him. And I was hoping that a deluxe skin would come before he went to Prime. Sadly, that didn't happen, and now we got the Prime version. The Prime version changes color, which is cool. You know, he has a one color and then another color when he has all his stacks. What I didn't like is that I was hoping it would change more his silhouette. I was hoping that he'll have like this slick look while he's in light mode, and then he'll have like this spikes and grotesque look when he's with all his stacks. Now, the part when he's all his stacks is really cool, the black, when he looks all black, but when he's all white, I was hoping that it would be really, really slick. I've always looked at him like, you know, Frieza from Dragon Ball. You know, he has this part where the stronger he gets, the uglier he gets, but then when he gets to the really top part, Frieza's this slick alien. So I was hoping that Nidus would have that transformation. It would be this slick alien, then all of a sudden it would transform to this grotesque form. This didn't happen exactly. I mean, I'm sure you can fashion frame it to look like that, but it doesn't happen exactly like that, and I'm a little bit sad about it. But, you know, as long as you have stacks, it looks absolutely amazing. And I also like the part that it did this little insertion of gold on his arm and his chest. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Now, for the second part, the part everybody wants to talk about, the new war. When they showed the trailer of the new war, it was absolutely amazing. You can now play with Grineers and Corpus, and you also can play with Tension. This is all amazing, and I think that maybe we'll have to play with other factions, maybe. I don't know how, probably. I think maybe probably we'll fight with other factions. Although Infested, I'm not really sure how we can do that. But it'll be nice to play with other factions, even the other NPC like the people on Cetus on Fortuna. It'd be cool to have that. Maybe we'll get there. I don't know. They also showed, of course, Era, the boss, the big boss that we're going to face. They showed this great space battle that has Grineer and Corpus attacking the Sentients. We also got to look at the Sentient Fortress in the relay. That was cool. That was one of the things that I really enjoyed to see. So yeah, there's probably going to be a new open world, because in the trailer we see like this. It looks like the Plains of Ilon, but it has waterfalls and it has more Orokin structures. So maybe it's the Orokin planet from where Ballas come from and so on. And we'll have also a new hub. They already teased this a couple of years back. There'll be, I don't know if it's going to be in the Void Storms or in the Railjack system, but I think they mentioned that at the time. I don't know, but they showed it. It's not anything we've seen before. It's not in Fortuna, it's not on the Plains, and it's not on Deimos. It has a completely new look. And we also showed the new enemy, which right now it's only an object. We haven't got any information about it. It's just an object with a lot of fractals. It's a nice to start. It's nice to get our attentions. But I hope we get to see, you know, a big Eidolon to fight. That's what I want. Also, because we'll be playing with other factions and our operators aren't really doing anything, I question myself if in the future the operator will be able to, invade other bodies. Like right now he can put himself inside Warframes and Void Rigs, but maybe there'll be a way he can, take over Grenier, or maybe take over Corpus, or maybe take over an NPC on Fortuna, something like that, to complete parts of the mission, or maybe parts of the new war. I think that if they're going to design this for the new war, this will be a system in Warframe. So then, if they wanted to diversify it or maybe implement it on other game modes, I think it'll be okay for the operator to do that, because the operator right now doesn't do anything except fight the Eidolon with the amp. That's it. That's all his purpose is at. We also had no information about, those the medallion where you choose light or dark. They haven't gotten any information about that, how that will influence the new war or your performance in the new war as the Warframe and the operator. So yeah, I'm happy to see what's going to happen. Last but not least, they showed finally the thing that actually stole the show for everybody, which is Warframe will now have cross-play and cross-save and mobile. I think this is a complete game changer for the game. I don't know. I hope it's not too late. I know that they allied themselves with Tencent, and Tencent has a great record for mobile and for being on the market in all those platforms. So I think this was the push that they needed to, actually get the game done on mobile and on multiple platforms. Cross save and mobile will be something amazing. I prefer to play the game when I'm playing, for fighting in my console and PlayStation 4. But when I have to do fishing, or I have to do mining, or I have to do modding, or something, maybe take care of the arsenal, maybe decorate or something like that, I don't like to boot up the PlayStation just to do that. So now, me and everybody can just save the game, pick up your mobile, do those, those smaller tasks on your mobile when maybe you're going to work, or maybe you're going to school, or maybe you have a little free time, and you just set up everything correctly. And when you get home, you just pick it up and go right ahead in the missions that you want to do. I think this will be the main attraction for me. Playing the game entirely on mobile, I don't know. From what I've seen, games with a lot of action and a lot of, especially like Warframe, where you have a lot of inputs that you have to do, a lot of powers that you can use. Doing it on a mobile, I'm not sure how that's going to work. If you're going to use a mobile and then plug in a controller, that kind of defeats the purpose. But we'll have to wait to see. For my part and for everyone's part, this has been an amazing addition to Warframe, and I cannot wait to see it. Although it's in development, and when something puts in development, it's like saying, we're looking into it. So, when it's going to come out, we'll never know. It could be next year. It can be 5 years from now. So, like I said in the beginning, take everything I say here and everything I talk about here with a grain of salt, because this is Digital Extremes, and Warframe is like its very own ecosystem. But from what I've seen on Tennocon, I'm hyped for the future. I just hope that it can fix everything. I really hope that the new war brings like a Final Fantasy 14 change to the entire game. But this is just my dream. I hope that it would, rewrite the star chart. They have reworked the star chart before, so they would rework the star chart to include, to remove some of the nodes that are just, too similar one to the other, and maybe just include Railjack on it instead of having to go to a silver map, and also put Steel Path in another position. Maybe make the entire star chart start at level 0 and then go all the way up to 100. It'll be a ton of work, it'll be like a Final Fantasy 14 work, but I hope they do this. This is my dream. They change the game, and also they change the drop rates, because right now, any new player that enters has to have some kind of godfather helping them along, either a clan or a friend or a couple of friends, because the game is so immense. It has grown so much in over the 8 years, and they've just packed it up with all this content. Many of the content is now obsolete, or somebody doesn't play it, or play it once and then never goes back to it. Like, for instance, salvage missions, which is where you get knights. It's one of the missions I actually think it's more interesting than other missions, but nothing drops there, so people don't play it. So the entire game could have this overall rework, but that's just my dream. We'll have to wait and see. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a great game, guys.